Now you need to ask them, what kind of work you're doing? Is it a fraud? Now what has happened is, when they were saying, I am Mike Anderson calling from IRS, the moment they were saying this, they're committing two kinds of crime. One is identity theft and other is impersonation. Both are covered under IT Act as well as IPC. And when they say that if you don't pay, and the next thing was, giving an extortion threat. If you don't pay in next 1 hour, immediately FBI people will come and raid you and arrest you. That was the extortion threat been given. So even extortion section has been applied to the people who are arrested. Cheating, obviously, the sections are applied. Now you imagine these guys, this whole lot of 700 people living with a mark on them, they are extortionists. It's such dangerous and such pathetic. Okay, so that's very important, knowing the crux. So whenever you are sending an email with somebody else's name, please remember, IT Act covers it as identity theft or impersonation, depending upon whose email is being sent. 66C and 66D of the IT Act covers up to 3 years is the imprisonment. So after this, I got calls from various call centers. Owners of BPO started meeting me, and they had this unique thing. Sir, in every BPO, every employee doesn't use his own name. He uses somebody else's name and does communication. So what? So they had so many important issues to discuss. And when I saw the way the BPO industry operates, 50% is completely illegal, the way their processes are tuned with Indian laws. It may be legal in US, UK or in industries there. And they are governed with the agreements which those process owners have given them. And my point to them was, you're governed by the local law, not by the agreements which you have signed with them. So every agreements need to be seen, and you need to comply with this whole BPO law needs to comply with a lot of compliance. So what I have done now, I have issued, rather in many press releases, many interviews which came across the country, in many newspapers, continuously I am bombarding that every DCP or SP in every district should have now database of all the call centers in their jurisdiction, name of the call center, what work they are doing, how they are earning money, and what is their turnover. So everything should be there recorded. So what happens, this young guys would not be lured in such kind of business. They remain, because they are young people, 10th, 12th pass, they are not that intelligent, so they may commit fraud or they may commit such kind of crime. So this is very big, very important. So this was one case which I want to really tell you about. This is increased. We have an Indian version of this fraud also. Please note that. I have so many cases where, insurance fraud. They tell you that they call you, they tell you that this is social engineering insurance fraud. They tell you that I'm calling from LIC. LIC has so many illegal kids. LIC, the full form of LIC is always tampered. So when you write only LIC, they just change the name on the check and they deposit. So in this fraud, what happens normally is, they say that we'll reduce your premium. Your premium is 1 lakh rupees, we'll do it in 25,000 rupees. You send the check or you transfer the money in Falana account, and the 25,000 rupees is gone. And such kind of money has been made. And there are rows of call centers in Noida, Gurgaon, and all those NCR areas, which have been raided constantly. But what has happened till date was, the Noida police, the UP STF was raiding, but they were not catching the people who are involved in doing this fraud. They were only catching the owners. First time what Thane police did here, we took a conscious decision after a lot of debate, was to make every single person in the call center accused in the matter. So this has sent a strong signal across the world. So this was a very difficult decision we took. I remember I traveled from airport when they called me, and I was awake till 4:30 in the morning. The raid was going on and I was guiding them. The decision top level IPS officers we were supposed to take, and we were taking, and I was helping them, is we need to send strong message. We don't know whether we have raids later, what happens to other people. But this time we need to send strong message to the whole community, to the whole world. Because I made officers from US, FTI, and they were saying all IP addresses are coming of India. So they were labeling Indian call centers as fraudsters. So we need to rub that off from the list. So now the whole big thing has increased. The investigation has increased to the next level. So I don't want you to take only one case from me. So I want to share you another case which is affecting corporate world, that's source code theft. So this year, 2016, 1st Jan, I was in the cyber police station. You know what was the case called? Motilal Oswal Limited versus Intellect. Intellect is an IT company. Motilal Oswal is everybody knows, it's a financial company. What was the case? The matter in the case? Intellect was a software vendor for Motilal Oswal. They had given this software as service, SaaS based model. Motilal Oswal carefully took the staff of Intellect along with them. The staff went to Intellect's office, made the license unlimited. Then they started using the same code as their own code and giving it to all the stockbrokers across the country. Okay. So when Intellect was my client, so when he came to me, the MD, I said, how do we prove to police? So I need to check your code. So we did a code review of it. You know, I did it before police only. What police did was, we went to motilaloswal.com and downloaded the client software. He downloaded the client software, which every client downloads. The moment we download the client software, it is a web-based software, we downloaded it. And we went to the Internet Explorer or Google Chrome and we went to view source. Just wanted to see the source. In the source itself, the name of Intellect was appearing for 15 times. And the variable name was the managing director of Intellect, still being used. No? So police was initially apprehensive, big name, how to take action, blah, blah, their own apprehensions. But then the moment when they saw this, they are not bothered to, at least change this and you do the fraud. Why not we go and register the case? The case was registered and the case went up to High Court and things happened. But later, as you know, in corporate world, a lot of things get decided outside the court. So they went for outside the court settlement and the court it was settled. But it is a source code theft case which is covered under IT Act as well as Copyright Act. The second case which came to me is Naptol versus Big Deal. Now Big Deal is Akshay Kumar's and Raj Kundra's company. And Naptol, I think Naptol and Big Deal, you must be, when you're scratching your television, you must be always be seeing this too. They are always selling some or other products, Naptol and Big Deal, and they claim that they are selling it cheap. So what had happened is, Big Deal had poached staff of Naptol. And in India, when our staff goes from our company to some other company, when they leave our organization, if they are programmers, they think all the source code is their gratuity and they take it away. If he is a sales guy or a marketing or accounts guy, he feels the data of client data is his gratuity and he takes it away. All the time I keep getting people who complain that my Sala who was working with me, he took my brother-in-law working with me, when he left my company, took away all the data. So I am left with nothing with me. So either data is taken or source code is taken. So in this case also, in Naptol versus Big Deal, Naptol's whole software was taken. And Big Deal started operating on it and at bigger scale than Naptol because they had money. So when we did an operation on them, you won't believe, we actually video shooted the source code which they were using, and in the source code even Naptol's logo was there. Okay, and what has happened is completely landmark. The bail was rejected. These people who was poached by Big Deal, the people who were poached, these were staff, unnecessary, caught in the battle between two. Their bails were rejected twice. Okay. And obviously criminal cases are purged on them. It's an open story. You can type Naptol versus Big Deal on Google. You'll get a whole story there. The case is still before High Court. I'm arguing the case. We still want some injunctions and also there's a civil case which is the civil angle to it also which has been fought. There's a criminal angle to it which has been fought. It has been in the discussions what to do about the case, but this case has become a very big case in Indian source code theft related legislation in this country of India. So you have this source code theft. I told you another is a data theft related thing. Data theft, all the time, yesterday also I had a phone where he was telling me that his own son has done data theft on him. There were two chartered accountants, father chartered accountant and the son chartered accountant. The son took away all the data when he broke partnership with his father. Okay, and the father came running to cyber police station, mera data leke bhag gaya. Okay, and the son came running to me with his wife that my father is doing all this to me. Okay, so this is a very tricky situation. When this comes to police, it becomes more tricky, because it's a family matter. After some days, they will become father and son, and police will be aside. इतना मेहनत किया सब पानी में, सरकारी पैसा पानी में डालने का काम करेगा इन लोग. Okay, so just want to tell you, whenever you are using government authorities or police mechanism for settling your business deal, it is not that simple. What has happened I'll tell you the big deal versus Naptol matter, umpteen matters which we handled is, the moment you settle the matter, when the case lies before police and you go before High Court for quashing the matter, High Court levies a penalty on you. So you use police mechanism, police machinery for settling your business thing. Please pay 10 lakh rupees to Tata Trust, to Cancer Trust. They'll do this. So it is never free. Don't think कि हमने पुलिस को use किया, अभी बाहर जाके अपना काम हो गया, everybody use money. That doesn't happen. Okay. So now judges, courts have also become. The सबसे मजा किसका है इसमें? Who enjoys the most? The trust. Because you fought, they got the money. So it is the story which we learned. When two monkeys are fighting, the third is benefited. So third is the NGO which gets benefited. Okay. So you can impanel yourself with the honorable high courts, different high courts across the countries. Okay. So there are three cases which I told you. There are corporate cases which are happening. Now one more interesting case which I want to bring before you is of ransomware. Now this ransomware, I'm writing an article for, we had Brijesh Singh in the morning, so he is now DG IPR. So he runs a magazine called Lok Rajya. Lok Rajya goes to all the politicians across Maharashtra. It has tremendous sale. Rather sale, we can call it sale. It goes jabardasti to politicians. They need to read it. So I'm writing one article just now composed. So I had a politician who came to me. He is also a businessman. So by default, politicians are businessmen. So some people say they are a quasi businessman. Well, okay, whatever word you add, business is there. So when he came to me, the complaint was he had 15 computers. Okay, and all the 15 computers were infected by ransomware. What had happened? All the 15 computers were infected by a known ransomware. I don't want to use the name. Every single data of all the hard disk was encrypted. There was only one JPG file which was left pending, and this JPG was having instruction, please pay 3 bitcoins to decrypt the data. The Neta who came to me, politician, first he asked me, sir सिर्फ 3 ही मांगा है, तो ये छोटा मोटा चोर लगता है. सेकंड, सर 3 मांगा है मतलब मुझे आई फील ये कॉर्पोरेटर लेवल का चोर रहेगा. सो या वो शाखा लेवल का चोर. सो एंड आई वाज सेइंग दिस इज नॉट एनी पॉलिटिशियन हु इज आस्किंग मनी फ्रॉम यू. This is an international criminal who is a gang and he was asking 3 bitcoins. And do you know what does 3 bitcoin means? He thought it is Bitcoin. So no knowledge about what is Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency. And when he had knowledge from me about Bitcoin, he was more happy than dukhi about his 15 got encrypted because he saw a chance of Hawala in it. Okay. So the moment I saw Bitcoin is used for Hawala, he became happy. Acha, aisa bhi hai. So you see the happiness, you got happiness even in his issues. And first he was having so many doubts, other politicians, other political parties, and I got 15 data which just got encrypted, decrypted, and then finally comes down with this. Okay, and then I keep getting calls from various police stations. Normally I advise police across the country that I have this case of ransomware and how do I decrypt this. Some funny guy somewhere will suggest him and he'll call his local expert. Every police station has a local expert, which they carry. Who is this local expert? Ex-hacker, ex-criminal, whom they make punch. You know what is punch, right? So Panchnama ke time they take the signal. So they'll take this guy along and he's their expert. He suggested them, अगर सर आप हार्ड डिस्क खोल दोगे ना स्क्रू से तो अपन वो ransomware को decrypt कर सकते हैं. And he calls me from Pune and tells me, sir, how did you write in newspaper that there is nothing to do about ransomware when you can do this? Such fiddly things come up with when it comes to ransomware. So ransomware has really become a pain in everybody's organization. They even ask $500, $100, 3 bitcoins, 2 bitcoins, and then and ransomware is not only attacked. They are not only attacking small players like chartered accountants, company secretaries, lawyers. They are attracting small business houses, big business houses, banks. Okay, they even attacked Mantralaya. Even our Mantralaya Locky virus, Locky malware had been attacked on, I think, second floor. Completely ransomware, and it was decrypted. What happened further? What happened further is also encrypted. So we don't know what happened further to the Locky antivirus incident in Mantralaya. So there's many incidents which are happening in the corporate world, which are, data gets leaked, money has been demanded, you are put to the ransom all the time. Okay, and then I keep telling that now I have 15 clients from different organizations. They say that we are happy to pay ransom, then pay money to cyber security professionals. So that kind of confidence has been come to these people. So this should not happen. This is a pathetic stage when we are doing this. So many incidences happening, different incidences. Don't read old incidences of phishing and wishing that keep happening, that we have started living with it. Be equipped with the new incidents which are happening in the corporate world and how people are fighting with it. That's very important to remain cyber safe in the world. And as I always say, we need to build in cyber security culture in our organization, in our country, and not only have cyber security awareness camps and awareness sections in our organization. You should make your organization cyber secure aware. A culture needs to get developed. So everything needs to be around developing this culture, because workshops would be 1 or 2 affairs. How do you make everybody and each of your organization cyber security aware? Because they are your warriors to combat the cyber security menace. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You have time for questions? No. No questions? Good. Everybody is sleeping. I could see the coaches are really good. They're effective post lunch.
Thank you, sir. I would request Professor Gupta to felicitate Prashant, sir.